The Voice Season 26 Episode 10 Recap. Is this the voice or the coach? With only so many steals left, we're back to the part of The Voice where going later in the battle rounds does not bode well for artists who are seeking a second chance at life. There is no coach replay button this time around. With Gwen Stefani using all of her steals already, it's down to the 3 other coaches. How will they utilize theirs? The battles rounds rage on in Night 4. But first, that cliffhanger. We have some unfinished business. With Austin Stansel having 3 coaches hoping to steal him, it's now down to Austin's to select a new coach. He rightly selects Snoop Dogg. It was the obvious decision, but it does beg the question, did we even need the cliffhanger? I suppose it was so obvious it wouldn't have been a great ending to the previous episode. But alas. Now that that's out of the way, back to the competition at hand. Snoop Dogg makes a shocking decision. Is it the right one? With Snoop Dogg adding to his team with a steal, he is about to lose a coveted contender when he pairs Dryan against Georgia Starnes. Their song is Perfect Combination by Stacey Lattisaw and Johnny Gill. The face of utter confusion from Georgia Starnes was right in line for many people watching. But for Dryan, he and his wife loved Johnny Gill as he was their wedding song. He's already got an instant connection to the track. During their session with Coach Snoop, Georgia is suggested to lose the runs to help complement when Dryan comes in. Would this be her fatal flaw? Georgia attempts to say that she and Dryan complement each other like peanut butter and jelly in hopes of respecting Snoop's vision. Snoop will offer his most sound advice thus far, the 5 Ps. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Georgia says she's going to get that tattooed. Let's just hope it's a temporary tattoo. In the battle of the 2 4-chair turn singers, the song favors Dryan immensely, which means that he has much more to prove. Georgia Starnes has a beautiful voice, but Dryan's old soul is what this song calls for. Still, Snoop selects Georgia Starnes as his winner. It's a shocking decision, but it's the right decision. Starnes is the full package and now has the ability to say she can sing outside of her wheelhouse. Gwen Stefani has 2 wonderfully youthful voices on her team, so it is time to see which one has the staying power. To match their vibe and energy, she gives Bea and Kay Seibel Please 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 by Sabrina Carpenter for their battle song. It's new, it's pop, and it gives them the ability to form a modern identity, as Gwen shares. Rather than present a full performance, the voice jumps right into the chorus of the song, which is unfortunate, and not being able to hear the full flavor of the performance makes it difficult to truly understand any decision about to be made. Despite that, both artists have exceptional stage presence and knock the song out of the park. Gwen is in a tough spot as they are both equally talented. The coach selects Kay Seibel as Filipino representation continues to shine on The Voice Season 26. Sadly, Bea doesn't even get a chance to thank her coach on screen. Reba McEntire pushes 2 of her vocalists to find a higher love in their battle. She has Joaquim Fortson, the youngest singer in the competition, against Sola, the singer-dancer. Performing Higher Love, originally by Steve Winwood, but later made famous by Whitney Houston, both vocalists have a beast to tackle. Joaquim is taking in everything that Reba tells him. He's a sponge for her advice. Zola has a thinner voice than Joaquim, and the Queen of Country knows that. She warns us that this decision will come down to their ability to sell what they're singing. Once again, we catch only part of their performance, missing out on the complete story. Let me rephrase that. We enter at the tail end of the song, where Joaquim, Fortson, and Zola are simply left to trade riffs and runs. Joaquim, decked out in a suit and sneakers, is adorable. On a show like this, that package sells. That's what gets audience votes, so Reba will use him as bait in hopes of retaining her title. It's hard to stand by her decision when it's not fully there. Sola is done dirty. Again. Season 26 of The Voice has been a roller coaster of emotions, vocal fireworks, and unexpected twists. Episode 10, however, might go down in history as one of the most talked about episodes. Not because of the performances, but because of the coaches. As the knockouts phase heated up, the focus seemed to shift from the talented contestants to the charismatic, sometimes overly competitive coaches. It left many fans wondering, is this the voice or the coach? The Knockouts round is known for pushing contestants to deliver their best performances yet, but in this episode, the real drama unfolded between the coaching panel. Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani, John Legend, and newcomer Reba McEntire all had moments that left viewers buzzing. While the contestants undeniably brought their A game, it was the coaches who dominated the narrative with their banter, strategies, and not-so-subtle jabs at each other. The performances. Before diving into the coach-centered drama, let's first acknowledge the vocal talent that graced the stage. One standout performance came from Team Legend's soulful singer, Jamal. He took on Sam Cooke's classic, A Change Is Gonna Come, and delivered a rendition that was both emotional and technically flawless. Jamal's control and ability to connect with the song had all four coaches on their feet by the time he hit the last note. Gwen, who has been known to give nuanced feedback, simply said, "You moved us." That was powerful. Reba chimed in with, "You just gave us a masterclass in storytelling." Then there was 17-year-old Ava from Team Gwen. Taking a risk, she performed an acoustic version of Billie Eilish's When the Party's Over. Her hauntingly beautiful voice and ability to convey vulnerability left an impact. Gwen, visibly proud, noted how much Ava had grown since the blind auditions. John praised her for taking a song that could easily be overdone and making it her own. Even Blake, who often has a tough exterior, admitted, "I didn't want to like it, but I did. You've got something special." But as amazing as the performances were, the contestants weren't the only ones competing for attention. In fact, the battle between the coaches seemed just as fierce as the knockouts themselves. The coaches, friends or rivals? One of the biggest surprises of the night came not from the singers, but from Blake and Gwen. Known for their playful back-and-forth banter, the couple often teased each other on the show. Things took a slightly more competitive turn in this episode. After Blake lost one of his contestants to Gwen's steal, he quipped, "I can't even win in my own household." The joke got laughs from the audience, but there was an underlying tension that was hard to ignore. Gwen, typically the more diplomatic coach, seemed to be leaning into the competition more than usual. "I'm here to win this season," she declared after nabbing another contestant from Blake. The friendly rivalry between the two had always been a part of The Voice's charm, but in this episode, it seemed to overshadow the performances. Fans on social media were quick to point out that the show was becoming less about the singers and more about the coaches' dynamics. Meanwhile, Reba McEntire, in her first season as a coach, was proving she could hold her own against the veterans. Though she's new to The Voice, Reba's decades of experience in the music industry give her a unique perspective. She's quick with her feedback, but also knows how to use her charm and humor to win over contestants. During one tense moment between Blake and John, Reba joked, "Y'all are acting like this is a honky-tonk bar fight, not a singing competition." Her down-to-earth personality has been a breath of fresh air, balancing out some of the more intense moments between her fellow coaches. John Legend, ever the strategist, played it cool for most of the episode, though he had his moments of frustration. After losing a contestant he had been grooming from the blind auditions, John muttered, "It's always the steals that hurt the most." But John also seemed to relish the tension between Blake and Gwen, often fanning the flames with subtle remarks. "I love watching you two fight it out," he said with a smirk after another contestant chose Gwen over Blake. Is this still about the contestants? By the end of the episode, it was clear that the coaches had become a central part of the show's narrative. While this isn't entirely new, The Voice has always leaned on the chemistry and star power of its coaches. Season 26, Episode 10 felt like a tipping point.